Hi guys, it's Tamara coming back at you with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Let's continue our discussion on unhealthy parent-child relationships and toxic parents. On Monday, I talked a little bit about, I'm trying to remember what I titled it. I think it was parental alienation. Or parental alienation syndrome, some people call it. But I talked a lot about parental alienation and what to look for and what it looks like and how to deal with it. And what I noticed after filming that video is on my website, a lot of people had questions about, well, how do I deal with this, right? So, we have a situation in our family where there's parental alienation, but how do we deal with that and what steps can we take? So I'm going to give you 6 steps today that you can take or that you can share with someone who needs to take these steps when there's a child in the middle of parental alienation. So the obvious benefits for you in this video today is that you're going to learn 6 steps to manage and possibly end parental alienation. Let me just do a really brief overview of what parental alienation is. So parental alienation is the idea that, and there's different kinds. I'm going to post the video that I did on Monday in the description box below so that you can find that, or I'll post it right up top here as well. But parental alienation is basically the idea that a parent manipulates a child to either go against another parent or perceive another parent in a negative light, right? It's never positive. It's always the parent trying to alienate the child, cause the child to go against the other parent in favor of that manipulating parent. There's also parental alienation in which an unhealthy parent says things in a passive-aggressive way that causes the child to see the other parent in a negative light. So when you watch the previous video, you're going to get a little bit more understanding of kind of what I'm talking about here. But parental alienation is disgustingly real. And there's a lot of unhealthy, psychological and emotionally unhealthy parents who engage in using parental alienation as a weapon against another parent. So when that happens, I think it's important to immediately figure out, number 1, what's going on. Number 2, how can I get into this and reflect truth? And number 3, what do I need to do to get my child help? So I have a couple of things I want to share with you here on my list. And the first thing I think parents who are witnessing or observing parental alienation should do is pursue counseling. I suggest individual and family counseling, but you can also do group counseling. So let me explain each. Individual counseling can be for you and the child who's experiencing parental alienation. So let's say Rebecca over there is the mother of David and Kevin is the father of David. Rebecca is aggressively talking about Kevin behind his back to their son David. David takes everything his mother Rebecca says to Kevin, his father, and dad finds out and doesn't know what to do. He also finds out that David is accusing him of sexually molesting him, which is Rebecca's attempt to get full custody of David, of course. So let's say that that's the dynamic, okay? What the father should do is pursue counseling. The number 1 thing he should do is contact a psychotherapist, a counselor, or some other kind of mental health professional who can provide him with one-on-one counseling. He should also pursue individual and family counseling for he and his son David. The mother can stay out of this because she's the troublemaking person in the dynamic. She needs to find her own counseling, of course. But for Kevin, the father, and David, the son, to cope appropriately and maintain their bond, counseling is going to be significant. You want individual counseling for both dad and son. David needs a child and adolescent therapist who has experience with divorce, messy separations, trauma. And then Kevin, the father, needs a therapist who can counsel him on how to maintain a positive relationship with his son and how to manage his ex-wife, right? Or soon to be ex-wife. So Individual and family counseling is extremely important because Kevin and David can have sessions together in family therapy. They can talk about things and clarify things, and then both individuals can have their own therapists, David and Kevin, so that they can have their privacy and talk about things they don't want to bring up in family counseling. Now, group therapy. Group therapy is the idea that David would go to group therapy, or Kevin, and they would sit in a I'm trying to think of the right word to use. They would sit in an office environment or some kind of organization environment where there's group members. So usually it's between 6 to 10 group members. And the whole idea is therapy, but it's really social support, because you're going to have other people in that group who can relate, who can give tips, who can make you feel understood and heard. So group therapy, even for David the child, could be helpful. Group therapy for kids is different because what they're really doing is learning skills, and then they're building therapeutic relationships with a therapist. So, I mean, group therapy can be helpful. Some people hate the idea of it, but it's something that I suggest that you try. But most importantly, individual and family therapy is utopia. The second thing I suggest for family dealing with parental alienation is you want to maintain a healthy family involvement. And what I mean by that is you want to reach out and pull in extended family members who are loving, understanding, and supportive. Aunts, uncles, close cousins, grandparents, right? Pull in those people and surround your child who is going through a very confusing time if he's being alienated from another parent, right? From his father, Kevin. You want to have that firm base of family involvement around that child. It says a lot. It says you're supported, you're loved, and anything that happens, we're going to be here to catch you. We're going to be here to cushion you. We're going to make sure that we are here to love you and help you. So healthy family involvement is another important or significant piece to this puzzle. The third one is a support network. What I mean by that is you can either go to group therapy and have a support network there, or you can go to a family support group where it's not counseling, but it's like sharing of stories and sharing of challenges with peers, equals. So that might be helpful. You can always go to your National Alliance on Mental Illness in your state, NAMI, N-A-M-I, just Google it, and look for support groups. And you might be able to sign up for a free support group. If you're dealing with substance abuse in the other parent, you could go to an Alcoholics Anonymous, you can go to a Narcotics Anonymous, or you can go to some kind of support group like that and bring up parental alienation. So just kind of looking at community for support groups, that's going to be utopia. The other thing is friends. Okay, so friends, colleagues, people that you trust, reach out to them. The fourth thing is faith and religion. Faith is complicated, and so is religion when it comes to situations where people feel defeated. Their first question is, why would God allow this? Why am I having to go through this? Totally understandable. It makes so much sense. But if you can find the strength and the motivation to hold on to your faith, or to become a member of a faith group or faith organization, or to reach out to a local pastor or bishop or a religious leader who you trust and who is ethically valuable, that might be very supportive. A lot of people find that during tough storms involving relationships and families, religion and faith is the best thing they could have ever done for themselves. So that's just something I thought I would bring up with you. The next thing is child protective services. Parental alienation, if it is aggressive and intentional and manipulative, is child abuse and child neglect. And so I think it's okay to reach out to child protective services in your local area and say, look, I'm having a parental alienation situation going on here. I believe that my ex is talking to my son about me sexually molesting him, or accusing me of hurting him, or accusing me of physical abuse or harsh parenting techniques. Whatever it might be, you can go to Child Protective Services and say, look, here's my situation. Should I report this? If you're not sure if you should support it or not, I encourage you to talk to your therapist once you got one about it and see what they say. If they don't seem very sure or certain, contact your local Child Protective Services agency and ask them. Just say, here's the situation I'm going through. Do I have to report this? Can I report this? And if so, what do I need to do? Okay. The last thing is an attorney that is experienced with custody, divorce, separations, things like that. The reason I say an attorney is because if you're dealing with a situation where your ex is slandering you in the eyes of your children, you may have enough information to get custody, full or partial. You also may have enough information to get the law involved where she has to stop doing that. She might even be, let's say if, Rebecca, for example, in my scenario, is the mother who's slandering Kevin, the father, in front of David, the son, then Kevin may have a case by going to a family attorney and discussing his situation, asking if he has any rights, asking if custody is something that he can, kind of maneuver in this situation. You might have something to go on. So a family attorney can be valuable, especially if they're experienced, dedicated, and they understand your family. All right, guys, thanks so much for being with me today. I encourage you to give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. Thank you so much for all of your comments and all of your questions and your feedback and your engagement. I'm loving it. So I want to make sure that I give you my gratitude for all of your participation. If there's something that you want me to answer, like let's say you have a question, if there's something that you want me to answer, or if there's a topic that you want me to focus on, feel free to post it in the comment section below. I do hear you. So I take all of your questions and I make videos out of them. And I also directly answer your questions. I actually have a video where I answered a lot of your questions on my channel and on my website. And I'll try to post that. It was during last month where I focused on trauma. And so what I'll do this time around is I'll just post it. Even though it's a later video, a previous video, I'll just post it. That way you'll see that your questions were answered. You'll have answers to your questions right on YouTube. I encourage you to hit the subscribe button on this side. That way that when I post new videos Mondays and Fridays, and sometimes Wednesdays as a bonus to you, you will get that notification. All right, guys, thanks so much for being with me again today. And I wish you all the best, and I'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.